So an injured NFL star, Michael Thomas, sues landlord over $60,000 recovery rental, but also later on you actually see he's trying to go for $1 million. But let's get right into the story because it's so absurd. So a $60K per month Bel Air rental marketed as an ideal self-care setting seemed like the perfect place for New Orleans Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas to recover from his career-threatening ankle injury last September. But what sounded like a 9,800 square foot luxury dream turned out to be a renter's nightmare. The NFL wide receiver, who underwent surgery to repair ligaments in June, claims in a new lawsuit, according to recent reports, during the 28-year-old's February and March stay, the 6-bedroom, 7.5-bathroom home had malfunctions relating to the pool, garage doors, and kitchen appliances, he alleged. But listen, before we continue, just imagine you spending $60,000 a month. Isn't that a little bit absurd? So on top of that, the landlord's unnamed representative allegedly repeatedly showed up unannounced, which is illegal in the state of California. So the landlord, who did not respond to the Post's request for comment, refused to give back Thomas's $60,000 security deposit, TMZ reported of the lawsuit. Now, the Post could not independently acquire a copy of the complaint, but TMZ claimed the NFL star is suing for breach of lease and asking for $1 million in damages. Now, even though he only paid $180,000 for the 2 months and the security deposit, he said the damage to his professional life was more severe, as he attempted to recover from a September 2020 ankle injury, according to the outlet. So Thomas is expected to miss the start of the season after undergoing surgery on his ankle ligaments in June, according to the NFL, and the New Orleans Saints press office declined to comment, and Thomas, his representative, did not reply to a request for comment. So the two-time reception leader has career totals of 510 receptions, 5,950 yards, and 32 touchdowns in 5 seasons. So he was selected to first-time All-Pro honors in 2018 and 2019, as well as 3 Pro Bowls. So in short, he's a big loss for the Saints, who are trying to find their offensive identity in the post-Breeze era of New Orleans. So the injured athlete's rental certainly promised luxury living, conducive to his physical therapy and training. So the smart home, designed by Frank Gehry, Chacol, has an open floor plan, great room, a kitchen, a dining room, and a living room, plus 4 fireplaces, and Rainier's automatic doors and windows. So to run cuisine cabinets and so-called professional-grade appliances across 2 floors. And look, it looks like a beautiful place, right? Don't get me wrong. But the thing is, if you're playing for the New Orleans, right, why are you spending $60,000 a month for rehab in a very posh house in California, right? He could have spent the $180,000 that he spent on doctors, on, physical therapists, on massage therapists to really, truly help him, right? Because you got to think about it too, right? If this is potentially a career-ending injury, does it make sense to spend $180,000 for a very expensive place to just sleep in? No, not really. But $180,000 on things that potentially could fix your ankle? Yeah, that might be something, right? Again, this is a very nice place. So the 0.33 acre lot has city and ocean views from its alfresco dining areas, outdoor fireplace, lap pool, spa, and infinity pool. It also offers a 2-car garage. So the lower level, ideal self-care study includes a walk-in wine cellar, an expansive theater with web bar, a spa, a gym, an indoor pool, and a living wall, according to listing materials. While the landlord didn't respond to a request for comment, he has given plenty of information about the property in other lawsuits. Well, that's interesting. So the full-time physician bought the property for $4.35 million in 2014 and spent several more $1 million on construction before the home was completed in 2017. The mortgage was $33,000 a month, and taxes were $6,000 a month, he said in a separate lawsuit. The property taxes were delinquent at the Los Angeles Assessor's Office, most recent record update, and unable to sell the investment property, the landlord rented it out via a broker who kept $248,000 in client's payments for himself, he alleged in a separate lawsuit before Thomas rented the property. I was and continue to be very emotionally invested in the home, he wrote in the previous lawsuit. I am now extremely cynical, distrusting, and somewhat curt with prospective business partners. This is not my personality, and I have not acted like this in the past. It is unclear if the landlord still owns the property or simply transferred it to another LLC, but Realtor.com shows that the property was sold for $5.36 million in July after the owners originally asked $19.5 million in 2018. So basically, the original homeowner got completely screwed on this property, overspent on this property, overbuilt on this property, got screwed over multiple times, and is now at a point where they just basically don't care and kind of want to screw over everyone. Apparently. But either way, like, what you can learn from this thing is a problem with a lot of pro athletes, right? Like, the thing to understand is that the reason why a lot of these pro athletes end up getting like broke is because they spend money like this, right? They're spending money on things that actually won't improve their playing, right? They're spending money on things that makes no sense, right? But here's the thing, right? Technically speaking, there's nothing wrong with him spending $180,000 to live nice in like a certain house, right? But you can't excuse that expense by you trying to say that you want to recover. Okay, like, think about it, right? You can literally like recover pretty much in like any ideal location around the world, live probably a few months, right? For not even 10 grand or 20 grand, right? Pretty much anywhere in the world, right? Like, you go to Hawaii, you could go to Japan, you could go to all different places, right? But no, he specifically chose an overpriced property in California to rent, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense, okay? Like, that does not make any sense. Because he could have easily have just gone to like Florida or something, spent like 10 grand for the 3 months or whatever, hired people that would like massage his leg, ankle, all that kind of stuff, that would just take care of him like hand and foot all the time. People who would manage and like, you know, keep track of everything that he's doing physically, right? Have him go through physical therapy throughout this whole time, right? And still would not even probably equal a third of what he spent here, because this is all just at this super overpriced property. And again, this is the problem that a lot of pro athletes have. They tend to spend basically all of their money on pretty much useless things, right? So don't be like a pro athlete. So if you need help and get out of debt and to basically manage your money better, go check out 40inbox.com, because you don't want to be in a position where you're actually making a lot of good money now, but you're overspending. Like, you're literally living paycheck to paycheck because of how much money you're spending on literally useless items.